discussion, kind of an open-ended discussion session where you're most welcome to ask questions in between so that it could become more discursive and kind of more non-linear. But the way we designed this was that once Risham shared her PowerPoint presentation, I thought that, I had a bunch of questions for her, and I hope to get to ask all of those from her. But the way the series of images were curated, I thought was so beautiful. So I think we'd use that as the core for our discussion, and things could kind of fall into that thread. So are we recording? It's recorded. I will introduce Risham formally, and I would cut her bio short because we all are very familiar, the people who are here, and for people who are not, I'd do a brief introduction. Risham, you've got to excuse me, I cut your bio short. Okay, so Risham Syed is a visual artist and a professor of fine arts, heading the Department of Fine Arts at the School of Visual Arts, Beacon House National University, Lahore, Pakistan. Risham has a diverse art practice in which painting and other mediums are employed to explore questions of history, sociology, and politics. Risham has shown extensively in major national and international exhibitions, and the list is endless, so I will exclude that for now. And it's a list of at least 15 to 20 very, very important museums and galleries across the world. Her work is part of important public and private collections. Risham is the recipient of several prestigious awards like the Abraj Capital Art Prize in 2012 and the British Council WOW Women of the World Award 2021. Risham is a graduate of the National College of Arts, Lahore, and has an MFA from the Royal College of Art, London. She's currently working on her solo show, which is opening in April 2025 at the Newark Museum of Art, New Jersey, and also the Sharjah Biennale in February 2025. So of the time I've known Risham, she's one of the most unique people in a way that she's had a 30-year-old career, very prolific, seasoned practitioner, understands and very sensitively what she's doing. But at the same time, it's amazing to always, it's amazing about you, Risham, that you're always so accessible, and you're grounded, your humility and the way you kind of and your genuineness, ingenuity really, really fascinates me, and it's something not many people have, that ability. So how do you, and I know that this first question may be a little off track, but how do you see these 30 very prolific years in like a couple of phrases? And then we'd get on to the PowerPoint presentation.
I think with my teachers sitting here,
Hello, Abbas. Join us.
Hello.
We're like doing like a... अच्छा ये प्रेजेंटेशन ऑन हो गई है. पॉइंटर किसके पास है? पॉइंटर किसके पास है? अच्छा मैं ही ऑपरेट करूँ? नहीं ठीक है. Okay. जी Risham, how do you instinctively, how do you see these 30 years for yourself? You're a practitioner, you're a curator, you're an educator, you're a mother, you're a parent, you're a daughter.
So I think,
mashallah.
I think like all my teachers sitting here, 30 years, so fraction ahead to, and I think like anybody who's been, living in one place for such a long time, I think वो flash में ही है. Like if I talk to Hashmi or Najia Kudus sahab, so it's all gone in a flash.
Okay, great, excellent. So let's talk about your earliest inspiration. And when I was kind of going through, we were together going through your work, and what really surprises me every time is that when you started even your earliest works are very multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary in nature at a time when this way of working wasn't really trending. So let's just actually start from your work at the National College of Arts and see how those influences genuinely came in from the kind of environment you were in, from your earlier schooling, and from the kind of parenting you had. So let's talk about your thesis work. We have one slide from your thesis.
So this is from the final project in December 1993. And basically what I was doing was I was looking at newspaper images as images from daily life, but one step removed, because once they're in the newspaper, they're distanced from you. And then juxtaposing Cartier-Bresson's photographs on top of the newspaper images. So now when I look at these works, it's interesting that my choice of Cartier-Bresson was again
instinctive.
Yeah. But uske andar there was that element ke I was looking at that period, colonization ka period, and bringing that into the work, and it was very instinctive, very intuitive, like that.
Yeah. I was really hoping that we'd get a student body who would learn from what it is like to be really working for so many years, and to be able to understand that it's okay to be able to think intuitively and take decisions, because thesis time pe bhi, and particularly when you're an early career artist, you feel that you got to put logic to all these things, and sometimes things start making sense after many years. So hello.
So this image I put into the presentation because this was actually like one of the early works when I went to London. And उस वक्त I used to write to Mrs. Hashmi, और उस वक्त वो letter writing वाला time था, and I used to talk about how initially I was unable to kind of work because I was also reacting to the environment, and suddenly Lahore se jo distance tha, that started made me very angry also, kyunke I became interested in history and became interested in images from the British Raj, and somehow Sara jo I think it's also kind of a catharsis, and also of being away from home and a bit of everything, of being homesick, and also then looking at one's own childhood and experiences, and the kind of Victorian values that we have inherited, and the upbringing, and missionary schooling, and then Lahore ka architecture. How
and these influences you're thinking when you are doing your graduate degree at the Royal College of Art.
So wahan pe then this was one of the earlier works where there's a photographer on the right, and on the left is jo ethnographic albums hain British Raj ki, usme se images hain. And also I'm also using a lot of my miniature ki training, because I started like egg tempera ki splashes and working like that, instead of working just purely in acrylic on large scale.
I'd like to just intervene. ये वाला image पहला वाला जो हम देख रहे थे, तो रिशम कहती है कि मैम नज्जी ने मुझे कहा कि ये तुमने चूहा क्यों बनाया? And you sometimes we remember all these marks, and जो हमारे जो tutors कहते हैं, they're kind of with us and they remain. कुद्दू साहब ने एक दफ़ा कुद्दू साहब मैंने पूरा काम लगा हुआ था, कुद्दू साहब कहते हैं काम नहीं देखा, कहते हैं आपके जूते बहुत अच्छे हैं, so इसमें मैम नज्जी ने she remembers it.
Visham's work, where it was located. So in the gallery, on the left-hand side, there was Risham's paintings, and I know that wall where Risham's paintings were located. I don't know whether it was this painting or some other painting, but certainly they are in my mind and in my memory as if I were looking at them yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, and
That you are
but I recall this, when you're talking about the newspaper and the graphite, sort of, and I kept thinking of earlier work. This is Hashmi's work in particular, which unconsciously one was looking at that kind of work and a lot of collage and how it influenced all of us who were taught by her, particularly in drawing and so on. So it's really quite interesting to make those
Of
connections.
course, because especially उस वक्त तो inspiration आपकी immediate आपके teachers थे, and then the material they provided, all the catalogs, all the art. That
Yeah, I know. Ms. Hashmi, when we traveled, she got these catalogs, and that was the only source of external
So contemporary
imagery.
art का जो exposure था, वो that was just from these catalogs that our teachers showed us. और कुदूस साहब नए रॉयल कॉलेज से आए हुए थे, so he would show us all the contemporary British artists, और मिसेस हाशमी और नजीर से इंडियन आर्टिस्ट का ज़्यादा हमें पता चलता था.
और कुदूस साहब ने कल टॉक में बैठ के भी कहा कि जब आप मास्टर होते हैं तो you have this unknown power over you. So I mean you automatically are in a position of power. So automatically they were they were. I saw it online. I see. I have spies all over. And it's interesting when you talk about mentorship, the kind of people who shaped your earlier ways of thinking and the way you kind of make connections. Talking of that, let's talk about this border and the frame, and let's talk about the influences the Zahoor Saab also had.
Zahoor Saab's influence, his concerns, his whole interest in miniature painting and playing with the format of the miniature painting, the frame, the border, उसके जो various elements हैं, और वो automatically आप अपने teachers के जो concerns हैं वहाँ पे inherit कर लेते हैं, and then you try to make sense of what you've inherited. So I think that was an important thing of looking at various elements and then trying to expand that language.
Yeah.
So I think this fake frame comes from there. And then we were also talking about working like in a painterly way, or as opposed to that, trying to figure out how the painted surface can be extended with various elements, like working with diptychs or
Let's talk
or
about
an
that.
object or
Is we were yeah.
इससे अगला.
हाँ वो नहीं रहा है. Yeah.
So this was part of the thesis work at Royal College, and I made a series of diptychs. और उन सब diptychs में एक idyllic landscape था that was coming from European painting, and this is one kind of reality, a picturesque reality, and that's the anti-picturesque part of the diptych, the other side, which was a fragment from home, which was painted एक image है, and then the lace pattern that I saw, like for example my mother collecting lace for me or whatever, and वहाँ जाके उसकी realization के where is lace coming from. So left side is that picturesque and anti-picturesque kind of juxtaposition.
So this questioning even of the inheritance of your influences became a part of your work also, and in the way you started critiquing and kind of rebelling against, and you became a kind of a mutant or a resurgent of sorts even in your later works. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about this from where the embroidery is coming from your earlier training at convent, and then talking about how you wanted to break away from it.
So early.
As in comment on the earlier training of being a homemaker.
My training was there was no art, उस तरह से visual art or painting or drawing. There was just
हाथों
embroidery
की,
and there was needlework and there was
handwriting.
So total emphasis on handwriting and from age 4 to 16. And the nuns treated me like a granddaughter because my mother also went to the same school. So embroidery was an integral important part. And when I went to London and I started looking at all the embroidery that I had learned, उसमें at age 4, hemming ka pehla lesson hai and it's a baby panty. So even at age 4, you're teaching a child
to be a mother.
So all those things, I was step back jo tha or being away from home, brought out all those things and that kind of rebellion. So even though if I think about my growing upbringing, there was no rebellion, immediate rebellion, family ki taraf because I was in a very privileged environment that both my parents came from art background. So there was no rebellion, jo ek stereotype hai of an artist who rebels against parents, immediate environment and becomes an artist. वो नहीं थी. There was total encouragement. But within that, वो rebellion जो है वो उस upbringing के ऊपर है. So then, I came back and embroidery के लिए I thought के वो क्या थी जो embroidery मैं करती थी. So then I started looking at patterns जो किताबें मिलती हैं embroidery की और फिर उनकी वो जो pirated version होती है. So I would give that pirated version, those patterns, 11 patterns to an embroidery wala.
Yeah, outsourcing at that time, 25 years ago.
So got the
ahead of your time.
painting and so when I look at these works, I'm thinking कि ये जो छोटा सा painted surface है, वो later on, like in 2010 वगैरह, that came out as an object, as a postcard, as an independent work, जो यहाँ पे it was part of a bigger surface.
Great. So let's talk about the Bhangiawala Top, which.
So this is later 2007, and here I'm imagining like
textiles. आपकी textile की. When did you think? When did you start thinking?
Textile की वो जो embroidery की training थी, that earlier I was painting lace patterns. उससे I thought कि अच्छा, why am I painting lace? Why can't there be
Baby real.
Why can't
the object itself?
Why can't the object come in directly? So जो ये भंगिया वाली तोप वाला काम है, इसमें I'm imagining this work to have come out of the museum. So museum उसको authenticity दे रहा है कि ये that एक अगर मैं कोई उसको authenticity देना चाह रही हूँ कि okay, this is coming from history. So वो museum like display जो था, that was a strategy to give it that authenticity. So an object coming to us from history. So उसमें फिर fake वो जो frames हैं, gold gilded frames हैं, वो भी एक museum display से आते हैं. So this is actually उस दिन thesis में, NCA thesis में we were at a jury, जब we passed by GPO और पहुँच के अभी jury शुरू हुई थी तो हमें blast की आवाज़ आई थी. So it's the king's gun and it's taken off और उसके साथ liquid था. So it's a painting of that Kim's gun, जो कि history से हम तक आई है, and it's kind of taken off. And the quilt has two maps of Lahore, एक contemporary map है और एक 19th century map है. And they run sometimes parallel and sometimes they go split. But this image I kept just as an example where I'm actually like using the object comes into the language.
Yeah. Okay. So that's where you started. Okay. And then that's step further where you have.
So this is then again like I'm talking about. अब central image जो है, that's actually material again. So the cap, the karakul
Karakul cap.
the karakul cap,
Jinnah
Jinnah's cap, or वो material directly, it's the central kind of frame, and then all the images are kind of revolving around it. And it's again salon style of hanging, and then that's also a museum kind of a display. So using that language to talk about history, so referring to history through the display. And then the karakul sheep on top. Karakul sheep जो है वो उसका जो fetus होता है उसको it's skinned alive because उसके curls जो है वो tightest होते हैं at that point. And probably coming from Central Asia, tribal chief probably wore it as a symbol of power or superiority.
Or exclusivity.
Exclusivity. And how then that becomes like a symbol
Of a national, of leadership.
of leadership.
Yeah.
So,
But also, here you have digital images also
there are
coming
also
in for the
digital
first time.
images, and there's a mirror and there's some drawing. There's a conversation between individual pieces. So इसके अंदर एक ये interest था कि the viewer can or should make the kind of relationship between the images. The viewer chooses
To make the connections they want to.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
want to.
Yeah. And this was exhibited first at Grey Noise.
This was an opening event for Grey Noise at Alhambra, and I remember this maroon color, the Victorian red, was we couldn't achieve it with a single layer. तो वो जो इतनी multiple layers की तो वो actually वो खुद the entire wall became a painting.
Okay. These are all details. That's a drawing.
That's a drawing. This is also a drawing.
That's a mirror.
That's a mirror. Yeah.
That's a
This is a print, but then I've layered it with egg tempera, egg yolk,
Yeah.
and so it looks like so
Like an
fake.
old, yeah.
एक तरह की वो है.
Okay. Tent of Darius, one of my favorite works. Would you like to talk about that?
So these quotes I got from the Landa Bazaar and was sitting in my studio for a very long time. मुझे लग रहा है काम भी
कर रहे हैं. नहीं कर रहे हैं.
कर रहे हैं? अच्छा. So ये पड़े हुए थे बहुत अरसे से मेरे पास, and I was looking at
Guys
them
can
कि
hear
मैं
ना?
क्या इनका
Muriel,
करूं.
आवाज आ रही है ना?
तो देन आई थॉट के बहुत अरसा देख के उनको मुझे लगने लगा कि ये खुद ही सोल्जर्स हैं जो कि फिरते फिरते यहाँ पे आ गए हैं और हमारे पास पहुँच गए हैं, लंडे बाज़ार में पहुँच गए हैं, और उनकी जो स्टोरी है जो वो कैरी कर रहे हैं अपने साथ, हिस्ट्री उसके जो धागे और चीज़ें हैं, तो मे बी देन उसको अगर वो कहीं कहीं रुके हैं तो वहाँ लोगों ने, औरतों ने कुछ अपनी अपनी चीज़ें कंट्रीब्यूट की हैं. And then I saw the painting Tent of Darius, where Alexander is entering the tent of Darius, who was a Persian king.
Let's have a look at it in detail. That painting. Oops. Oh, sorry. Okay.
So literally like, the West taking over the East. So it's from, Le Brun was a painter in the court of Louis I think the 5th or the 6th, yeah, 7th, one of the French kings, and he basically idealized Alexander. So Alexander की series paint उसने commission की होंगी. So in this particular painting, Alexander is entering the tent of Darius, and Darius की जो queens हैं, they're kneeling for forgiveness.
So when you're using the title as a reference point, you're kind of, in a way, appropriating that title. You are appropriating work also much later in your work portfolio. But was this maybe the first time that you kind of lifted a title
as
as
the
a
first time,
so it becomes a citation and a reference point in itself to something
Bilkul. So this
in
is
history.
like, yeah, that's the intention of using the same title. It's a way of citation also. So I'm literally like bringing a fragment of history and citing it in my work.
Yeah, and also recreating the painting.
The recreating the painting in plastic,
Yes,
in
in
acrylic.
plastic. So let's
Yeah.
talk about that a little, because these are oil paintings,
Yeah.
classic, and when you're converting them into plastic, that's another statement that kind of takes over another body of work that you would do much later.
So acrylic was introduced by
Zahur
Zahur
Saab.
Saab, and that became my medium even as a student.
But then it came in because it was from your mentor, and you started thinking.
Because, and also, you know, oil painting, I would really, you know, appreciate oil painting, but खुद के लिए मुझे लगता था कि अच्छा oil painting ही मेरा medium. But later on, now when I started making these paintings, as an act, like a conscious, deliberate act, I felt कि acrylic being plastic also plays, you know, in the meaning of the work.
Yeah.
So when you're converting an oil painting into a plastic medium, it's also, you know, talking about bringing it into the present, और उसकी जो fakeness है of appropriating an image. So वो सारी चीजें उन्हें plastic होना adds to the work.
Yes. And let's talk about
So these images are from Manchester Art Gallery. So I was invited to respond to their collection, to the 18th, 19th century painting की जो उनकी galleries थी. This was in 2017-18.
Yeah, and this was this was an intervention at the gallery itself,
Yeah.
with all other original classic paintings in the neighborhood.
Right. So this particular work was in their Roman kind of gallery, just make it, you know, they had paintings from that period. So interventions थी, I made first a trip to see their collection, and then we, you know, figured out कि अच्छा कहाँ से कोई काम हट के और मेरा
And
काम
this was
लग
your
सकता
first
है.
exhibit at the Manchester Art
At
Gallery.
Manchester Art Gallery.
Okay.
Yes. And so the exhibit was done in a way कि वो seamless लगे, ना पता लगे
How-
कि कोई नया काम है या पुराना काम है.
That
The
was the
tags-
intention.
That was the intention.
Okay.
So the tags are also done exactly.
This
like-
was before the Abrach.
No, this is 2018.
2018 was
2012.
much earlier. So, okay.
So the tags are also done like their permanent collection. And so then people, you know, the interesting thing was that people wrote to me that these works were a way for them to look at the permanent collection in a critical way. Because वो notice कर रहे थे कि अच्छा ये object क्या यहाँ कर रहा है या ये towel क्या यहाँ कर रहा है, and then they would read the tag and figure out कि अच्छा ये शायद ये नया काम है, or then talk to the guard कि ये क्यों यहाँ ऐसे हो रहा है. So, but then that, you know, started this or opened up a conversation to look at their permanent collection also. जो कि museums में हम, of course, you know, you take it for granted कि ये history ही है और ये, you know, see.
And you had a talk also, I remember now, which is it's a recent thing. You had a
ये 2018.
2018 pre-pandemic. But I was curious, province तो नहीं obviously, but the way this work, this Talwar Gallery New York ने ये acquire किया हुआ है, but it has traveled also the world.
Yeah.
So this in itself, after you kind of getting it from Landa, has had its contemporary history also.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
हाँ, and then you know वहाँ पे एक वो बटन उतरा हुआ था और उन्होंने कहा कि ये पूरी टीम जैसे इमरजेंसी टीम है वो आ गई कि जी इसको हाथ कोई नहीं लगाएगा और उसकी डॉक्यूमेंटेशन होगी कि ये ऐसे ही तो मैं सीखूंगी मुझे क्या प्रॉब्लम है तू साइंस धागा दो आई जस्ट फिक्स इट ऐसे नहीं ऐसे
Such a
नहीं हो
big deal,
सकता
yeah.
सो देन आई हैड टू फिगर आउट वो ना देख रहा हो तो मैं बटन को सीखूं.
और अभी आपकी कैनवस गैलरी पे जो भी शो हुआ था उसमें समीरा राजा ने आपको वैसे ही कैप्चर कर लिया था अपने क्विल्ट को टांग के लगाते. इट वाज काइंड ऑफ अ कैजुअल रील दैट वी ऑल एंजॉयड. या Okay, so these are details of some of it you ask people to,
So
and some
I
of it
asked,
you.
you know, मेरे इर्द गिर्द जो जैसे घर पे जो लोग हैं उनको इन्होंने क्या किया और कुछ काम करवाए थे.
Okay, so a lot of your work is also talking about Victorian attitudes and kind of critiquing on the way that has seeped into our lifestyles, also into our Lahori Punjabi homes. So let's talk about this image.
So the marble mantelpiece जो कि एक आम हमारे upper class घरों के अंदर
Let's look at a close-up. Do we have a close-up?
नहीं. So that becomes the frame, literally marble का real size.
So again, you're questioning the frames and the material
so
also,
वो चल
and the
रहा है.
forms also add to, as you said, that it becomes an extension of the painting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Part of the
Yeah.
of the painting. So this literally becomes the frame, and then the painting is in conversation with the
Yeah.
frame.
And what is the painting saying? It's
So the painting is discovery shuttle that's taking off. So it's talking about the idea of development
and discovering newer worlds,
Newer worlds,
and,
yeah.
and exhibiting power. Okay. And the act of violence also in a domestic
in a
space.
domestic space, because a mantelpiece is supposed to provide warmth
Yeah.
and comfort in a domestic
Yeah.
space.
But is that the viewing? This is in a gallery.
This is in a gallery.
Yeah. Okay. Indians viewing the landscape.
This is also at the Manchester Art Gallery. So this is a kind of display कि वो I wanted that painting to hang low. So the painting is titled Indians Viewing Landscape,
Which is also an
which is by
appropriated
Thomas
title,
Gold.
and it's also again a citation,
it's
again
a
a reference
citation.
point of a historical painting.
So it's talking about American landscape painting, 18th, 19th century, when expansion is taking place, looking westward. जो expansion है, so the painting actually has two tiny Indians looking at the landscape. So I painted that in acrylic and added these Victorian chairs. So when you would sit in these chairs, you would look at the Indians viewing the landscape, kind of a thing.
So the ones on the right are the
These
ones
are those
part
are
of the
part of
gallery,
the permanent
and the
collection.
three objects are the intervention, and it's done in acrylic.
Yeah, it's done in acrylic, and I'm borrowing this work for Newburgh Museum also.
I was reading somewhere that once a very precious work of art travels from one end of the world to the other, the effort of thousands of people who are involved in kind of picking, packing goes invisible. And if something is damaged, everything gets visible. So traveling, the idea of transporting one artwork from one part of the world to the other is also fascinating.
This is at Rohtas Gallery in 2010. I actually I asked this Hashmi, a
Favorite archival, Lahore archival series, yes.
So we literally built a wall across the gallery, and the paintings were of Lahore and the new kind of expansion जो है Lahore की, new developed
The new
societies.
gated societies.
And I was photographing the sites, the three sites that are left, खाली कोल तार होके या cemented छोड़ी जाती हैं, and only the front, the facade is finished because साइडों पे और चीज़ें आ जाएंगी. So उस वक्त तो I was just interested in those surfaces, in the abstract kind of surfaces, and how those are always the back walls, and back walls keep absurdity. But now when I look at these paintings and the spaces that I was documenting,
They no longer, they no longer
there.
exist.
They no longer exist. So it's a kind of, I feel कि ये एक तरह की एक archival documentation भी है. Like phase 5, phase 6 defense, and Sui Gas Society, and Pak Arab Society.
Yeah. And also the size of the postcard is also in itself has meaning, because postcards then was like a symbol of connecting, archiving, and also
Yeah, and also
also having your iconic kind of
Iconic
places and
image.
spaces onto
Yeah,
something
and
that would
something
travel.
that you can carry, with
Carry,
you,
yeah.
or send it over
Yeah.
to somebody. So these are 4 inches by 6 inches.
Yes, postcard size.
Postcard size.
We saw one of them recently at Oatspace. I don't know if it was a recent one or you found it from one of your archives. And it's interesting that Rishu and I were having a conversation that once we have an exhibition and when something does not get when it doesn't get sold or it's not kind of bought or acquired, there's automatically this idea of rejection. Ki, oh, kaam nahi bika hai. But then that work. If it stays with you and is shelved and is kind of bought or realized or acquired much later, it has much more significance and value. So I'm
मेरे thesis का NCA का काम सारा मेरे पास पड़ा हुआ है, and now I'm really happy about
no,
it.
but I'm just thinking these postcard series also are precious, and the ones we saw, I saw at O Space maybe 2-3 years ago was just incredible. That
borrow
painting.
हुआ होगा.
हाँ, because वो जो काम अगर हम अब देख रहे हैं, वैसे we don't get to see your works in person, but that one work was the first time I saw your painting in real, and it was beautiful. And you've continued doing these series from time to time,
हाँ,
the Lahore
so,
Archive
yeah.
series. Yeah.
But the first was at Rohtas in 2010. I made about 7 or 8 paintings.
Okay, the 7 C's. This is the Abraj.
This is the Abraj
Capital
Art Prize, and basically it was a series of 7 quilts where I said that I would travel in the region, Manasa region, Middle East, North Africa, South Asia, and I would collect craft, embroidery from there, and then make work. So वो जो series है उसमें each individual one has to do with the port, and क्योंकि Manasa region का वो award था, but I realized कि Manasa region was
Also
on
the
trade
route.
of East India Company. So then I thought कि ये that this is just exactly what I'm
Meant to be,
interested in. And so I started looking at stories of rebellion from those regions, rebellion against the British. And so I embedded a narrative within each of the quilts. So there is one which is Chittagong Hill Tracts, this one. So Surya Sen was a rebel who went and hid in the Chittagong Hill Tracts and was fighting from there, got people together and created a force against the British. So all of the quilts have a story.
So how much weight, and in your works, the context, of course, is very important in every aspect of it. It is talking about history, it is talking about the politics of your own place also, and it is also talking about narratives, as you said, narratives of rebellion. How often do you see yourself? How do you take the visual language as an independent language that could be devoid of context? Because many people coming into a gallery would sometimes see the work devoid of its context. What do you have to say about the visual language being an independent language, irrespective of a text or anyone else kind of explaining what the work is?
Yeah, so it's interesting that, I feel it's a process जो back and forth चलता है. Like once I was interviewing William Kentridge and I asked him because
You were interviewing William
I
Kentridge
interviewed William Kentridge
during your masters?
in 2015 or something.
Wow, how?
In Mumbai, Bombay.
Okay,
I had my
wow.
show and he was also having his show,
Uh-huh.
and then I
Acha.
asked him,
Okay.
I could दूसरा set के art now के लिए interview कर लो. So I said, तो वो उसने कहा हाँ मेरा show open होने वाला उससे पहले आ जाना. So I went and did this interview. So it was interesting to hear him talk about how his process, which was कि उसके काम में तो इतनी ज़्यादा politics and his own environment is such an integral the work is just
About
about
that.
that. But then he said, yeah, I just collect images and I collect objects and I just, intuitively I just collect and bring them into my studio. So when he's making work, he's not consciously
Thinking about,
thinking about it. But then of course because उसकी जो base है, उसका makeup जो है, वो सारा इतना strong है.
The things kind of
things-
push out and
they-
pour,
they-
they automatically
of course,
become
हाँ.
visible.
So it's interesting कि आपकी जो thought process है that comes from your experiences, and even while you're choosing things intuitively, instinctively, you make those choices. That are reflecting.
Yeah, and sometimes they actually make sense many, many years
many years
later.
later.
Okay, Chittagong. Acha, okay, so these are
So these works, because इतना quick process था कि वो, between traveling and bringing in object, in material and making that kind of collage, it was a very intuitive process. Even though, there was a narrative that I was working with, there was material that had meaning, but the process of making was very intuitive.
Yeah. These are details of 7 quilts.
7.
So, just for people who don't know about the Abraj Capital Art Prize, this came. There was you were nominated, and then you were asked to write like a detailed proposal of what your project would be, and then Risham was one of the 4 or 5 people who got selected internationally for this.
So every year,
Every
they
year,
would
yeah.
give it for, to talk about the Manasa region. Mrs. Hashmi nominated me, and then, I spoke to her about it, and she said, मैंने कहा इतने सारे पैसों का करना क्या मैंने, what do I do with so much money? She said you have to think about what you want to do, So I said, traveling is something that I really want to do, and then I thought about the region and about Manasa, and it all came together. So there was a lot of traveling, like I would go from one place to the other, bring in material, and then make work out of it.
And was this the first time you had that kind of international outreach and exposure, or and then kind of things started,
इससे पहले I had that solo show at Talwar in 2010.
Okay.
हाँ. तो और उसके बाद this was 2011 or 12.
Okay. But because it's always interesting for maybe from maybe a student's point of view as to what was your first breakthrough internationally? Who recognized you? Who kind of nominated you? These are questions that
Yeah.
everyone is curious about, especially the younger ones who kind of.
So Talwar Gallery wala show, I didn't know Deepak Talwar. I just got a call one day, and he asked me to. Actually, उससे पहले 2009 में I think I was in a group show that Atika Ali curated, and that was at Talwar Gallery. और उसके बाद भी 2000 हाँ कुछ आगे पीछे एक साल बाद, then he approached me himself and asked me to do a solo show.
Can you talk a little bit about the whole role in a way of the way art fair and all these organizations such as Abraj and others who sort of somehow created these spaces and like the Jameel Art Center and so on. They created these spaces that were not Eurocentric.
Exactly.
Created these spaces where there were these conversations that were taking
Within the
place
region, जी.
for artists from the region. And so when we talk about the Manasa region, this became a kind of a hub. And one thing has led to another, to the point that today you've got museums, well-known museums, that have opened their, in Abu Dhabi, and they're looking at, again, art from the region and putting up big exhibitions such as the Mandela exhibition, is most recently at Doha.
Ji, absolutely. I think Abraj was the first time that I went to Dubai, and even just having a conversation with Arab artists who were part of that year's show. So that's the first time because हम लोगों का यहाँ रहते हुए it's either Europe or the US, UK, and that's the first time I realized कि इतना ज़्यादा काम हो रहा है like within the region. And so Palestinian, Jordanian, Egyptian artists जो कि जिनको language सिर्फ connect कर रही थी. So, but then of course, over the years, like Jameel Art Center has played a huge role. And I think it's important कि ये, ये जो connections हैं,
ये इदारे जो हैं,
बिल्कुल,
they're putting their money actually to follow this is not possible unless it's funded properly and so on. But they are putting their money to support these endeavors, and people are taking it seriously.
Jameel Art Center, yeah. And अभी मैं familiarize हूँ that they have one in Jeddah also. Hey Jameel. हाँ.
बाकी के जो इदारे का बात करते हैं, अब तो हमारे क्या करेंगे? Such an important center. Wonderful artists.
बिल्कुल.
That of course, we people saw actually was happening overseas in the 60s and so on in London. But we were also exposed to the subsequent police remembering that wonderful bookshop also that they had in Bayswater, where they had that
Kufa Gallery.
Kufa Gallery.
A bookshop next to it.
Yes. And
Sorry.
so there are all these things that we recall. These were these kind of rare experiences. And at the time in the 90s, it was such a turning point when you were studying and as well as a university. There's a lot of overlapping at that time. Quite a few people who got that exposure. And London was in that sense a kind of real melting pot, where you had all these people with the possibility of other people making up conversations and so on. And it was suddenly there was another world.
Yeah, but also at the beginning, when 9/11 happened, I think that also was like a major. That was much later, maybe a decade later. Yeah.
2000.
Yeah, a decade later. No, I'm just saying that you're talking about.
Decade of the 90s, and we discussed that many times over in the Pakistani art conference. It's a really critical decade. And उसके अंदर ज़्यादातर बात तो होती है ना पॉप आर्ट की और अर्बन फोक की और मिनिएचर पेंटिंग का इमर्जेंस मिनिएचर पेंटिंग and so on. मगर और चीज़ों के बारे में बात कम होती है. And actually, Risham is a marvelous example of an artist who is maturing in that period, and who's making some really spectacular work. And all sorts of things, also a form of experimentation that's taking place. I mean, I can recall producers work using text, for example, through the work that he's doing, the work that he was doing when he was painting his village and painting. This is the kind of naivety of that work that he was making before he actually went to drawing work and working with Ken Giff and his tutors at the time. Really appreciated.
We're having a discussion, so you must go on.
It's about a particular time.
Yeah.
I think it's important because these are the things that people need to know, of course, and they need to understand what is happening at that particular time and the connections of that time. What
it's a narrative of Pakistan. So a bit of mystery.
So I think that don't be embarrassed. I'm saying that you do that, a lot of things happen,
Yeah.
which
In-
I think need to be said sometimes in conversations, although I do it.
No, no, absolutely. I remember when we were talking about Ali Kazim's practice, I think his decade was very significant because the kind of work that was being produced, there was, you know, a shift or the gaze kind of shifted to South Asia post 9/11, you know, the economy started booming, and that is when, you know, yeah, but so exactly, so it's a different decade. So I'm glad that you pointed out that the kind of decade and the kind of things happening also become very significant to the artist and vice versa.
Because don't forget what's happening in the West at the time, synchronization, because this is that decade in which there is so much video being made, and that is what is really being promoted. That they're coming out of their own conceptual sort of phase of the 80s and so on, that form of conceptualism, and video is what is, as they said, it's attached on the art institutions and so forth. In the 90s, before the great 9/11 took place.
But yeah, लेकिन ऋषम की बीच में ये बात हो रही थी when she was studying at the Royal College, and I asked her what these earlier kind of interdisciplinary multimedia kind of approaches to working came in from. It wasn't really from, you know, going and stepping out and kind of getting tutelage from England. She said that at that time in the 90s, sure, you know, of course, there was kind of a new medium being explored, but at that time, Royal College of Arts were very conservative and people were really doing hardcore painting at that time.
I
It
think
still
that's
is.
because- That's because it was the painting
Yeah.
department that I
Was
went
the
to.
painting department.
So painting के अंदर सिर्फ painting होती थी.
And you were also part of the painting department.
I was being part of the painting department.
Let's talk about your jacquard printing. And these are the details of the 7 quilts. And then you bring in Lahore series again, which you did again. So you slide it
And
in
this
the
is the same series.
the same.
2010 में की वो अभी continue कर रहे हैं.
ठीक है. So jacquard, digital jacquard with steel frame.
Yeah, so these are based on the 2012 में जो
Construction
Lahore में
orange line
orange
की.
line बन रही थी, उसकी documentation थी that I sent to China and got these jacquard panels.
Yeah. So what's special about jacquard? It's not a digital print. It's like a more kind of it's woven technical version of a handloom, like a more advanced version, a mechanical version of a handloom.
Yeah, so I was thinking of the handloom and then and jacquard being, the first mechanization of the handloom.
Yeah.
And then अब Chinese ने उसके ऊपर एक और layer है of Chinese
The mass production
mechanization. तो वो जो jacquard loom है उसको भी आप digitally
Yeah.
feed करके instruction you can get a woven image out of it.
yes, and it was also kind of based on the kind of European
So
tapestries.
jacquard is European and so और उसमें landscape का idea है and this talking about Lahore ki digging, it's a kind of a landscape.
And the steel
It's a
frame
Lahore.
goes comments on the kind of
So the-
material and the
So
usage.
the traditional
Yeah.
jacquard है European, उसकी जो border है, that's an extension of that landscape. So I made these metal steel frames, oxidized frames as extension of the.
Yes, and you did this in 2013, and 10 years later,
10 years later,
it's
I
recently it's
showed
been
you.
exhibited at Alhambra with a kind of a newer, more clear understanding of what those frames would now mean, because you converted these, you had some of these editions, and you now said that you used
I
a
used
gold
the
frame.
ornate gold
Yeah.
gilded kind of, again, Chinese frames, but.
And why did you think that it made, now after 10 years, that made more sense than the steel frames you used?
Yeah, so I've actually, since I showed these works in the steel frames, I struggled with the display because वो जो उसका jacquard होना है, वो it would not
Come through.
And so interestingly, स्टील के अंदर वो नहीं हो रहा था जो अब गोल्ड ऑर्नेट फ्रेम्स के अंदर हो रहा था. Maybe it was also the contrast, because इसमें वो एक तरह से उसी की extension है, but then the gold frames का जो contrast है with the surface that brought out the weave.
Yeah, yeah. We have some documentation. We'll come to it. Let's just
So
be
then
in the
this
flow.
is again that Manchester Art Gallery वाला
Yeah.
show. पीछे Turner की painting है, and this work of mine. It's a small painting, and the object is this Victorian tripod camera ka, and with a quilt.
And the fur coat you acquired from there because you weren't able to you weren't able to transport the one.
The skin that I used was actually Ammi ka. It was the first blanket जिसमें कि उनको रैप किया गया था. वो हमेशा से वो मेरे पास रखा हुआ था कि वो है. So I used that, but then of course skin couldn't be
Transported.
It couldn't be exported उस तरह से. So they used IKEA का.
You said that this introduction of smoke, or this element of smoke also is kind of constantly it keeps
Yeah, it's a
popping,
recurring kind of thing that when I look back to my earlier works, उसमें हर एक में smoke या धुएं का कोई वो है, और वो अब आके उस smoke painting के अंदर I see कि वो smoke अभी तक चल रही है. This is two years ago.
At Canvas?
At Canvas. So the fabric that I inherited from my mother, she would collect objects, and she would always have, a story behind even fragments of objects. Where she would collect, and she would then put them in a ziploc with her handwriting कि इसके साथ ये करना है.
Yeah, and Risham says that her mom, there's still kind of cartons and trunks lying with kind of these labeled objects and material that initially Risham said, didn't have much value associated with them. And then whenever she asked, whenever her mom asked कि आओ मेरे साथ इसको देखो, कितनी फेंक दे इसको, not realizing.
Baaki side of the family who were minimal. Like my dadi had 3 jodas hanging in her cupboard, और 3 trunk में होते थे, और एक चौथा बनता था, वहाँ से एक निकल जाता था. And then in contrast, Ammi built a warehouse to house.
All labeled and archived
all
in her
labeled and
handwriting.
archived.
Yeah.
And so I would imagine कि मैं जब बड़ी होगी, मेरा घर जो होगा वो बिल्कुल minimal होगा, और उसमें कोई फालतू चीज़ नहीं होगी. And here I am with that.
You have raw material for the next 10 years, 100 years. So here, this very recent body of work is talking about.
हाँ, so 80s में जो हाजी आए थे, वो आते थे 80s में, they would bring pearls and they would bring silk. So Ammi had a collection of these Chinese silk quilts. Quilt का वो jacquard panels थे that she collected. So and then वो जो उनकी collection होती थी, she would always talk about this कि ये मैंने इसके साथ कुछ करना है. Like ईंटें उन्होंने एक घर यहाँ पे कोई बहुत बड़ी कोई हवेली गिर रही थी, उसकी ईंटें कलेक्ट की, और वो ईंटें 40 साल तक हमारे लॉन में पड़ी रही, और मैं हर वक्त स्टोरी सुनती थी कि इनके साथ कुछ होना है. वो रेड सैंडस्टोन था और ब्रिक्स थी, इस तरह से. So she would have these collections, and she would talk about what she wanted to do. So ये फिर मेरे पास जब पहुंची, and I was looking at all this, bright, colorful silk. So I thought कि मैं इसके साथ क्या करूं, and then I started thinking of CPEC and Chinese
trade routes.
and this had actually come to me through that trade route. So CPEC की politics के साथ these works came about, and so Linde Bazaar se I started this research, and every few years अगर आप Linde Bazaar visit करें तो there's a different period जो float कर रहा होता है. तो इस वक्त market में 80s की चीज़ें हैं जो float कर रही हैं, 80s and 90s, और लेकिन कहीं आपको कोई पुरानी चीज़ भी मिल जाती है जो कि refer कर रही होती है to 19th, early 20th century. So उन objects की मैंने collection की, and then looking back at the stamps, फिर उसकी research की कि अच्छा ये कहाँ से आ रही हैं चीज़ें, and somehow वो connection सारा East India company से पुरानी जो British companies हैं उनका बन जाता है. So then I had all this research in a QR code, which was part of the works. And so then I'm talking about trade and global trade and how, you know, what trade does और उसमें accumulation कैसे होती है wealth की और तिजारत कैसे justify होती है because हमने उसको you know inherit किया हुआ है.
And how wealth accumulates
How it
over time and
और
what.
तिजारत के अंदर सब कुछ justify होता है. You know उसमें margin जो profit का है वो भी justify होता है because वो हमें you know culturally religion की तरफ से हमें उसकी इजाज़त होती है. So then you know उसके अंदर then Ali Trade series is the series that came about. ये tower लाहौर का एक tower है जिसका नाम Ali Trade Center. और then I had these objects और फिर objects का कोई image था जो in quilts के अंदर था, so it would kind of create you know complete the narrative as if कि वो उस object quilt के अंदर से ही वो निकला वो object है. And yeah, so maps की base है with all these images. ये VHS का lamp है जो सामने पड़ा है, and then it's part of the quilt also. ये उस image के अंदर भी है.
So, you know, loaded every time with every object has meaning and loaded with so much ethnographic and kind of social reference. How do you how do you kind of see when to stop and how do you kind of keep going and where do you kind of start, where do you get your raw material?
So it's interesting हाँ कि कुछ तो ये है direct लंडे बाजार से, कुछ अपनी भी मेरी है collection, like the earlier broken teapot was from my nani's Johnson and Johnson का कोई वो था जिसकी broken टुकड़े मेरे तक आए थे. So then I'm also making these personal connections and you know then personal say
The personal and the history, yeah, the content, and also the kind of materials that land in our houses have, you know, stories to tell, and that is what your work is also about. This particular work, one of the most exciting that you did recently at MIF, Manchester International Festival, was the prime example of kind of a collaboration, was the epitome of you know, an interdisciplinary project that had so many layers of meaning, of interaction, of material. Let's talk about that.
ये पीछे भी वीडियो
हाँ, ये था
प्ले होती है. पता नहीं प्ले होगी.
पीछे होगी
ये
ये
वाली.
मुझे लगता है कि
ये वाली इस प्रेजेंटेशन में से प्ले होती है. ये वीडियो है वैसे I don't know but
okay, so you were the concept lead.
हाँ,
It was
so
curated by
basically,
Alur Mitha and there was
Alur asked me to propose something for Manchester Art Gallery. Sorry, Manchester International Festival. So उसमें भी proposal में they said we have several proposals and we are collecting these proposals and then you know we'll choose something. So basically, Manchester International Festival is an event of a performing arts festival that takes place in Manchester. और उसमें so their opening event is like you know a huge thing and अभी तक के जो उनके events हैं they've been done by you know big European names. So when he asked me, I thought, अच्छा मैं opening है क्या मैं करूँगी? He said कि you have to sing. So मैंने कहा अच्छा गाने का I've never thought about Ghana as coming into my
The work.
artistic practice. And he said it's a celebration of a park, the first in 100 years in Manchester. It's a celebration of a river that's been cleaned up 100 years mein, and that river goes through the park. So it's a celebration of the river and the park, and it's an opening event for Manchester International Festival.
Medlock, Red
Medlock.
Medlock.
So उसमें मैंने कहा कि अच्छा, and then I started researching and उसमें चीज़ें बहुत interesting मिली, how हमारे जो seas हैं, like our sea is a ground for is a dumping ground for toxic waste from the west. और इस तरह की मुझे चीज़ें मिली जो कि मैंने सोचा कि अच्छा पानी की बात कर रहे हैं, समुंदर दरियाओं की बात कर रहे हैं, और कैसे जो सब कुछ एक है उसमें दे थिंक कि अच्छा यहाँ आके डंप हो जाएगा तो उनकी सफाई हो जाएगी. सो देव क्लीन्ड अप द मेडलॉक रिवर, या वहाँ का जो सारा टॉक्सिक वेस्ट है वो यहाँ आके फिक रहा है, तो इज इट हाउ डज दैट जस्टिफाई एंड हाउ डू इवन कोई रैशनल नहीं है उसके पीछे. तो so then I thought कि अच्छा what if मैं अपने यहाँ से कोई पानी ले जाके I add that to that cleaned up river and I symbolically मैं conversation उनकी कराऊँ कि how that can be a prayer or a wish कि all rivers are
Become one.
They are one, but उसके अंदर वो डिवाइड कैसी है कि आप अपना सारा टॉक्सिन जाके कहीं और डाल देते हैं, इंडस्ट्री ख़त्म कर देते हैं. यूरोप एंड यूके आर बेसिकली अब वहाँ पे सिर्फ सर्विस इंडस्ट्री है, उनकी इंडस्ट्री सारी अब आके वो यहाँ पे लग चुकी हुई है इन साउथ एशिया, बिकॉज दे रियलाइज व्हाट इट्स डूइंग टू द एनवायरनमेंट, बट देन sending it to the third world is not helping anybody or anything, or life in general. So then I created this kind of and I also thought about कि अच्छा गाना जो है I would like to work with a choir, and so I said कि Manchester का कोई choir हो उसके साथ मैं काम करूँगी, and I would like them to sing with them. So that's how it came together.
And
then,
can you talk about the poetry and why you chose that particular verse?
so the verses are Guru Nanak's lines. Pavan Guru Pani Pita Mata Dharat Mahat Divas Raat Doe Dai Daya Khele Sagal Jagat. And they are, these lines actually talk about a kind of a living जिसमें कि आप नेचर को अपना माँ बाप मान रहे हैं, और सो जो रिलेशनशिप है नेचर के साथ उसकी रिप्रेजेंटेशन है. So then I worked with the choir long distance, और यहाँ से पानी जाना था स्वान रिवर का. आई थॉट अच्छा एंशंट, उनका एंशंट रिवर जो है मेडलॉक, उसके साथ हमारा एंशंट रिवर की कोई मीटिंग कराई जाए, बातचीत हो उनकी क्या कुछ करना है दुनिया के बारे में. सो देन आई टुक दैट वाटर ओवर देयर. Angie Wall was the director for this event. और फिर एक sculptor, UK की sculptor, she also came on board and created these sculptures.
That's installation.
These sculptures.
But that's a kinetic installation.
These are
where
kinetic
the water
installations,
is
so
kind
people would add, so they would collect water from these sculptures and then walk around the park and add that water to
so it
block.
became a ritualistic kind of an
So it was a
activity.
ritualistic kind of a journey, जो कि एक पूरा वो path था जो workout हुआ था. And Dan Jones, who's a big
Music composer.
music
Director.
he's a sound designer. He made the soundscape for the park. We had about 70 speakers across the park, and there was a choir that was singing live, but there was also उसकी bass में जो recording थी वो भी चल रही थी. I was singing live, and so it was quite.
So when you were singing live, people joined you, followed?
People joined me. I was sitting, and it became quite, an immersive experience.
And do you think it became conversational also? People wanted to know about the river, and you were able to kind of talk about, again, a rebellious act where you're kind of bringing that water back in.
Interesting. मैंने उसको वैसे नहीं सोचा हुआ था, but people who came would cry. I don't know कि क्या था.
I wish we'd see the video, because it the environment had this kind of very soulful feel to it. So अगर आप, do you have it independently? If you could play it for.
नहीं है उसमें से. वो छोटा सा उन्होंने वीडियो बनाया था just to introduce the whole thing, because उस टाइम में था और रियल टाइम में था. It couldn't be captured. But मैंने जब डैन जोन से काम किया था, I said I want the sounds within the park, I want them amplified. So there was पानी का sound, there were birds का sound, there was हवा का sound. All of that was layered within the singing. So अगर आप किसी एक जगह से गुजर रहे हैं तो आपको उस तरफ के हिलने की या वहाँ की birds की आवाज़, और वो surround sound की तरह, because 70 speakers थे in the park, so it became उस तरह से experiential.
And how long was the opening for? I mean, people
It
kept
was,
pouring in for
I
how
think,
long?
4 hours or so, and it's the first time I was doing this, so it was quite intense and physically quite challenging. I had only imagined it, but करना जो था वो that was the thing.
Yeah. I wish something like this, which is kind of so three-dimensional in its nature and time-based. They had
So they had done the tickets before they knew कि 1500 लोग आ रहे हैं. So that was all, and they paced it in a way कि एक वक्त में rush ना पड़े और slow paced रहे. तो but I think in the end 1500 उन्होंने tickets issue की थी, but about 1700 or 2000 people came over those 3-4 hours.
Wow, and it certainly gave a kind of new direction to your work.
Because what I'm doing for Sharjah now also has sound piece in it.
Okay.
It's interesting.
And on that note, if we're concluding on this last message, this last slide, which is the very recent show you had at Canvas Gallery.
This is actually before Canvas. Canvas वाला image मैंने
नहीं
डाला
डाले,
है.
अच्छा,
हाँ,
ठीक.
मैंने show देखा है.
So let's open it for questions or anything you'd like to talk about. But Risham, thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to be looking at your work in all different dimensions, so layered, bringing in the idea of material, medium, history, the personal, the remote, the immediate, all coming together so beautifully, kind of gelling in, so coherent as if, and everything kind of becomes one. And we're very excited to see what the next 2 shows hold, because you're always full of surprises. And thank you so much. Thank you.
Rabia.
Thank you.
Thank you.